Okay, digital audioers, this is Mr. Heath coming back at you. Hopefully you are hearing this file loud and clear. And this is a virtual lesson. I am recording this on Tuesday, October 15th, I believe, 2013. So perhaps you're listening to it on a different day or even a different year or decade. How about that? Anyway, what we're doing today is to learn the basics of a program called CoolEdit, which allows you to create and modify sounds, WAV files, so you can basically create your own voices, which can then be brought into Acid Music or done many different things. It is similar to the program Audacity, which I know many of you know, but it's got some extra features, and I think you'll like it. So just to kind of put this all in context here, we are looking at the speech remix project, but in order to get there, we're doing a little mini unit here, mini project on CoolEdit. And the notes for what I'm about to show you are on this link, and you will find this linked from our Moodle page as well as from our syllabus. And here's the mini project that you are going to do um, after I do this demo. And here's some of the notes that I'm going to be using for the demo. Okay, so that's that. And I just want to remind you that we have kind of a lookup table for all kinds of special effects here. So if you see in the CoolEdit or Audacity or Pro Tools later on in the semester menus some kind of special effect, you can look here and see, for example, what chorusing is. So basically, chorusing, for example, gives another similar voice. So you can take a singing voice, and if you chorus it, it sounds like there's two people that are singing. And if you then chorus that, it sounds like you're four, and that kind of thing. So anyway, um, that is that's what chorusing is, and that is your file where you can kind of look up. I don't know if I have all the special effects, audio special effects there, but I have quite a few of them. Okay, so let's get started here. I am going to go to my uh, Windows and go to CoolEdit and then launch the program CoolEdit 2000. You may get something like this when it first launches, but here's what the program looks like. And you can create files under Generate with different things, tones and noise and that kind of thing. But I'm actually going to start with a file that that comes with Windows. And actually, let me load this. And I'm not sure exactly which file it is. So let's see if maybe it's this one. So I can click it one time and do play. Oh, that sounds like a good one, but that's not exactly what I'm looking for here. So, sorry about this. Pause here. So I'm going to take a file called Windows XP battery low, which sounds like that. So I'm going to open it up in CoolEdit, and just to kind of show you how I got that, file open, and then if you go to your C drive and go to the Windows folder, you will find in there a folder of media. And if you scroll down, there's all kinds of sounds here that you will recognize from Windows. For example, log off sound. Okay. So anyway, I've already got the file I want, but that's a good receptacle for taking a file that you're going to use for your project. So first of all, why don't we look at what a sound file looks like. So there's the sound, and I want you to notice what sound looks like. Perhaps you'll notice that the volume of it is the width of the file. So when you have what's called an amplitude, when you have a wide amplitude, that's when it's loud. And then as the sound fades out, the amplitude gets to be less and less and less. Okay, so this particular sound maybe was recorded with a marimba or something like that. So it's a percussion sound, and it starts because of the striking of the mallet with its loudest, or just about its loudest, and then it slowly fades off as the sound reverberates through the wood of the mallet and then gets quieter and quieter and quieter until it kind of goes to silence. Okay? So I want to show you some things about CoolEdit, and um, so you can play things, you can fast forward through them, you record if you want off of your microphone, but let's just kind of work with this sound. So I'm going to do Control A, which selects the whole sound, and then most of what you're doing today has to do with the transform menu. So I don't know, let's say I wanted to reverse this sound. So now I have a sound that instead of having what's called a fast attack and then a slow decay, I have a sound that has a slow attack, and then after it peaks in volume, it has a fast decay. So let's listen to what that sounds like. So that's kind of cool. It no longer sounds like a percussive sound. It sounds like something that is growing in volume. Anyway, I kind of like that, so let's keep that. And let's say that what we particularly like about this sound is maybe when it's first kind of attacking to that, right? So I could select that with my mouse and I could do edit copy, and then if I click in here and do edit paste, it takes just that one segment, and let me paste that a couple times. So basically CoolEdit can be sort of like a word processor is to text, CoolEdit is for sound. And so let's play our whole sound now, what we have so far. Right, so we get kind of three little attacks and fast decays, but that's kind of a cool sound. And I'm going to actually tighten this up a little bit. I'm going to uh, get rid of that section because not much is happening there. So let me just cut that, and now we should have kind of a tight sound with these three little sound peaks. So that's kind of cool. We like that. So let's say, and by the way, before I do anything else, I'm going to edit and I'm going to select this whole sound and I'm going to copy it and make a new file, because the last thing that I would want to do would be to write over one of the Windows sound, because then when people use this machine, instead of having standard Windows sound, they'd have whatever you had done to it. So I'm going to choose 22,050 as the sample rate for this new sound, and I'm just going to do OK there, and then I'm going to paste my file in there. Now I have an untitled file, and of course I can save it on my iDrive, and I'm not going to go through that right now. I'm just going to put it on the desktop, and I'm going to call it Heath Temp Sound. So anyway, now we can play with it with impunity. So that's one thing, that's sort of the basic copy and paste stuff. And so let's talk about some of the other things that might be on this menu. So um, first of all, there's something very important under amplitude, which is called normalize. Normalize will maximize the sound without any sort of distortion. So you see that it kind of fattens up the sound wave there, and didn't have a whole lot of effect. Maybe it made it just a little bit louder. Okay, so that's pretty good to know. And what else do we have here? Here's, yeah, normalize, amplify. Okay, so you could amplify, but the danger with amplifying is that you may get some distortion. If you make your sound too big, so if I amplify by 100%, then I guess that didn't make it any bigger. So, all right, so what else? Let's try under time pitch here. We have stretch. So if I select just say that part of the sound and do time pitch stretch, then um, there's a lot of things you can do. And what you're going to find with CoolEdit is that they have uh, lots of control of what you can do. So in this case, we have something called ratio, length, and transpose. But one thing that would be really good to kind of look at is something called the presets. So they've got something called helium, which if it was a human voice would sound like somebody had taken a sip of helium from a helium balloon. So let's kind of see what that sounds like. And sometimes they have a play and sometimes they don't. So on this one they don't. So we can't really test it, but I'm going to do OK, and let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, so it just kind of compresses it and makes it sound a little bit like it was in a jar or something. So that's kind of cool. So we like that. Let's say we like that, and the part of it that we particularly like about it is right here. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm actually going to do the whole file and delete that. So edit, cut, and let's paste what we have, and then let's paste it again, and one more time. So now we've got 9 peaks of the volume because we copied the sound 3 times. Let's see what that sounds like. That's kind of cool. So that could be sort of a synthesizer sound that could go in a horror movie or something a little bit scary or weird or maybe some kind of a soundtrack for a nightmare or something like that. Let me show you just a couple more and then it's time for you to play. So there is lots of cool delay effects. So if we select, say, the first two of these sounds and transform them with delay effects with delay, and so here we have some where we can actually preview it. So let's try, I don't know, slap back here. So that's kind of cool. So all those are pretty good, but I'm not going to choose any of them, or I could change them over there. So I'm going to cancel instead here. And then let's see what happens if we get echo chamber. So that's kind of cool. And this one, you have to press preview. Oh, wow. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. So that's pretty cool. And you can see we got some distortion in here. So you can kind of hear the before and after. So anyway, I think you get the flavor of CoolEdit. So please let me remind you of where you are to go now. So you're back to our syllabus. You're clicking on CoolEdit Software Skills Demo Mini Project. And there's some notes from what I've just presented. And here's your actual project. Okay, so go ahead and play with this for the rest of class. And then email me what your final WAV file that you came up with from CoolEdit. Make sure you save it in your iDrive. And then if you have not selected your speech for your speech remix, or you want to listen to more of the samples from previous years with the speech remix, that would be a good thing to do. So next class, we will start chopping up your speech and thinking about what kind of music would go with it. Thank you and good luck. Have fun.